Carpentaria Exploration is a Brisbane-based exploration company. It's been named as one of Australia's top 100 resource stocks in the Resource Stocks magazine for its record of discovery. And we're joined by Nick Sherd, the Executive Chairman of Carpentaria Exploration, also Non-Executive Director of Mirabella Nickel. Nick, good to speak to you because you are in Sydney to talk about your main project, the Horsens project, at the Mineral Exploration and Investment Conference, which is happening tomorrow and Thursday. Just tell us about the tone you're expecting at that conference, given there have been a couple of changed environmental requirements in the state.
Well, obviously I'd say the tone wouldn't be as buoyant as it was a couple of years ago. However, there's still quite a few projects going on in New South Wales. There's, for example, ours is a major project that will hopefully be going ahead. So the whole aim is to try and generate investment and get exploration going in the state, which I think people tend to forget that New South Wales has hosted some of the world's great ore bodies like Broken Hill, Cadia, parks, etc. So there's a lot of opportunity here in New South Wales, and we're trying to promote that.
Nick, the reality is you're swimming against the tide, though. The big miners are slashing their exploration spending. They're needing to make those balance sheets look better. If they're needing to do that, surely you're needing to do it even more. Isn't your task Herculean?
It's a very interesting point, and we're going kind of cyclic to that. I believe this is the best time to explore, and I think the big companies should do that too, but they obviously follow the herd. And I think now's the time, if you look at particularly New South Wales, the exploration licenses are becoming more and more available as the explorationists drop their licenses, and now's a great time to pick up quality projects. So if you've got money in the bank and can explore, it's a tremendous time to do it.
Well, that's interesting you talk about the money, because of the 800 listed juniors on our market, around half have less than 250k sitting in the bank. That's not a lot of loose change, is it? Or at least that's their mainline cash flow.
It's as a junior explorer, it's very sad, but putting a Carpentaria hat on is actually quite good for us, because we're looking at trying to acquire quality projects, and now's a perfect time to do it. And so you'll see, with other companies, merger and acquisitions at our small scale level will start occurring, I think, Carson.
And would you be seeking funding for those kind of opportunities, or is it a cash in the bank kind of story? Or
I think you'd be doing it on a share swap basis largely, and then you'd be seeking funding down the way. But as long as you've got some funding to do some drilling, to add value to those projects, then there will be a turnaround in this so-called doom and gloom cycle we're in. There will be a turnaround in about 1 or 2 years. And if you can position yourself for that, you're cooking.
It's interesting you've put that time on it. You were just quoted quite recently as saying the pipeline of new mines over the next 7 to 10 years is going to diminish considerably. So from that, I take it to mean you're looking to get more from existing resources and not explore vigorously at all into the short and, if not, mid-term.
Yeah, I not quite understand the context of your question, Carson, but I do believe that now is the time to be exploring, because it's going to take you 5 to 7 years to get those mines coming on. And there is certainly a lack of discovery at the moment.
Because I'm just interested on that front. You said just recently, when it comes to greenfield exploration, it's going to shrink because the risks are considered too high.
That is correct, and I still agree with that. But with companies that have got a commitment to exploration and have got a good track record, and like Carpentaria, who we believe, we turn over projects fairly rapidly, and we're not wedded to them. So when you see a good project, drill it. If it's good, keep going. Otherwise, get rid of it. With that mentality, I think you'll find the bigger ones sooner. And if we don't look now, we're not going to be opening mines in 5 to 7 years' time. And unfortunately, that's what's happening in Australia at the moment. There's a lack of, there's got to be a lack of development in 5 or 6 years' time at the rate we're going.